Hello, my name's Hannah Dunster and I am founder director of Soundcastle. Soundcastle is a music charity and we have a focus on working in mental health settings and with families facing challenging circumstances. And we use music as a way to enhance people's well-being and bring people together, a chance to meet people, make new friends, and most importantly, express themselves through creating new music. PMC are a band set up in Worthing, and it's a mental health friendly and aware setting. So we encourage people to come along who may have been facing challenges with their mental health, and we use music as a way to connect, as a way to be together, and a way to focus on something different. We make sure that we tap into the 5 ways to well-being when we're working together. So we're looking at connectedness, we're looking at activity, we're looking at giving to others through creativity. And the band have just gone from strength to strength. They're writing really exciting new music about topics that are meaningful to them. They made an EP during lockdown, which is out there online. It's called Unlocked. You can find it on Bandcamp and on YouTube. And they've made music videos. They're doing performances. So it really is a chance for them to express themselves to their full potential creatively. And we try to co-produce it as much as possible with the group. So we invite them into decision making. We consult with them on future vision for the project, and we make sure that all of the music written is very much their voice. We are there to facilitate them in the process. So in a typical session, we will get together, we'll have a good old warm up. We spend a lot of time focusing on the beauty of making mistakes and what a wonderful thing it is to embrace mistake making, because that means we're exploring, we're trying stuff out, and we celebrate when people take risks. So we'll often engage in warm-ups that encourage that are a bit messy, sometimes slightly chaotic, and we try to move away from the idea of perfectionism because that can often be what holds people back in their creativity. And then we'll go into actually making our music. So we might explore some riff building, we might explore lyric writing if someone's got a particular idea. Sometimes a member of the group comes in and says, I've got these chords, but I don't know what to do with them. And then the rest of the group all piles on. We go into small groups, maybe a rhythm section, a melody section, a lyric writing section, and then we tend to come back together and see how those different elements sound together. And often what we try and do is what we call like a messy Frankenstein run through. So we'll like cobble together all these different ideas and run through a trial piece of music in its messiest form. It's kind of like messy play or something like that, but with sound. And just really encouraging everyone, no, it has to sound messy before it sounds amazing. That's the only way we can string these ideas together. So yeah, we create a big messy Frankenstein piece, and then after that we start polishing, refining and getting it to sound how they might want it to sound when they perform it. So in order to join the PMC, we encourage people to first do what we call a stepping stone course, which is called New Rhythms. We work in partnership with the Sussex Recovery College, and we encourage people to sign up through them. And New Rhythms is really that first taste of creative music making. It's almost like a training ground where we look at what it is to create music together without judging other people, without judging ourselves, and just having fun and exploring, again, that messy play with sound idea. And then if that course has felt good to the people involved, we then encourage them to progress through and become part of the PMC, a more permanent band. So in terms of positive impact of this way of music making, we're really seeing the ripple effect into other areas of people's lives. So where people might have been quite low confidence when they first joined us or quite anxious about social situations, the energy of the group and that feeling of being part of this amazing musical family then it helps to improve confidence in other areas of life. So we've had people return to work who weren't previously in work. We've had people stand up in other community settings and take leading roles, for example, in their local churches, or in like local panels for different charities or organisations. And we found that people are making friends beyond the band as well. And that's the thing that I think for me brings me the most happiness as a facilitator, to see the lasting effects of friendship that are growing out of the band. And that is something that takes years, because we're in a situation where people might need to build trust again and feel that they can trust other people, because for whatever reason, whatever difficulties they've had in life before coming to us, they might have lost that. So it takes a long time, it's a slow burn process, but it's always worth it in the end when you see those friendships forming. So I think our focus on group music making is quite fundamental actually in terms of supporting people with their mental health. The emphasis is on the group, and again it connects back to the 5 ways to well-being. So we're giving to each other, we're connecting with each other, with other people, we're engaging in activity, and having that kind of bouncing off one another effect, having the opportunity to make each other laugh, to have a bit of a giggle, and also having the opportunity to try something out with a kind, empathetic group of people and not feel judged for it, is fundamental in terms of improving people's well-being once again. And it's that then sets people up to go away into other social situations. So yeah, the communal side of it is really fundamental in terms of enhancing people's well-being. So our most recent project we launched during the COVID lockdowns, that is Unlocked, our latest EP. Please do go and listen to it on YouTube or Bandcamp. 5 wonderful original songs which are just incredibly epic and emotive and moving. And now, since the COVID lockdowns have lifted, we are working on our performance skills. And our next performance is coming up this July. We're going to be playing at the Sussex Recovery College graduation ceremony to an audience of around 100 people. So it'll be a big step up for the band, but they're really up for it. We're going to hire a minibus, we're going to load all the instruments, make a bit of a road trip of it. And it's great to see the desire for performances there, because sometimes working in mental health settings, we have to be a little bit careful of that focus on product rather than process. So we're always careful to feel our way with the group. But this particular group, they want to perform, they want people to hear their music. So we are really excited about that performance in July. If I was to give some advice to other organisations interested in setting up programmes in community settings, I would say it is all about partnerships. We're community musicians, so we can make sure that we're trained up in our first aid for mental health. That's something that Soundcastle really advocates for, but we don't have training in clinical psychology, for example. So we need to work in co-production partnerships with people who have lived experience of mental health, and who can provide backup and support and resources if we need it. So in our case, we work with Sussex Recovery College, and we also go to Mind asking for advice as well, and we make sure that we're all trained in mental health first aid. But I would say don't hold back. If you want to do something creative in a setting that focuses on mental health, just make sure you're working with the right people. Make sure that partnership is in place, and then get something creative going, because it's an incredibly rewarding experience, and usually a lot of fun as well.
So take me to the glen.